Meta Monday!
Hello and welcome to another... What's up, gang? And welcome to another sweet and tasty episode of Off Meta Monday, the only show... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another tasty and delicious episode of Off Meta Monday. I'm your host, Flaffic, and today we're going to be looking at a quirky little list given to me by a quirky little man, shout out to my boy Jackson, for Sugar of the Don Quixote Pirates family. Now, this list is one that I toyed around with for a while. I just built one that I found online, that one in like Brazil or some shit like that. I don't know, shout out Brazil. But honestly, I wasn't feeling it. It was a little too straightforward. It was a little too lame. And my buddy Jackson said, no, forget that. You're playing the wrong list. He said, you gotta play the Monster Mash list. I said, what the fuck is the Monster Mash list? And then he sent me this little monstrosity that we're going to look at here in a second. Now, he says he got this idea from real_Joshua. I'm not really sure if this is Jackson's list or Joshua's list. We'll find out and put a little note here at the bottom. But I gotta say, it's an absolute treat to play, and it's wacky, it's explosive, and it's just the kind of deck that I think is perfect for Off Meta Monday. Let's get to the list. All right, so let's get into the Monster Mash deck list of sugary sweetness. So we've got Sugar. Sugar is a 4-life, 5k power leader that says at the end of your turn, if you have a character with the Don Quixote Pirates type with a power of 6,000 power or more, you can set up to one of your Don as active, and then whenever you activate an event on your opponent's turn, you can set up one of your Don from your Don deck. So you get to add it on your opponent's turn when you play an event. And if you check the boxes with your Don Quixote Pirate stuff, you get to restand a Don at the end of your turn to make those events live on your opponent's turn. So what can we do with that? Well, we can Monster Mash with that. So let's look at the event package. We've got a full rack of Bad Manners Kick Course and Gum Gum Jet Gatling. These are the same card. They're 0-cost events that let us pitch a card to give our something leader or character plus 3k for that fight, and that's just a pretty solid way to keep things alive. And by pitching a card, we're just ramping a Don on our opponent's turn, right? And we're getting the +3, so it's pretty good advantage. Only difference between these two cards is that on trigger, the Jet Gatling says that you can add a Don, and the Bad Manners gives something -3k power for the turn, which is also really good, mind you. You know, having the extra ramp is nice. Once we get to 10, it doesn't really matter. So I think the Bad Manners Kick Course is a little bit better on trigger here, just because it can help stave off a lot, especially if, you know, like let's say you're playing against a Zoro, right? And they swing at you, hit your life, and then they restand them with their ability, but when their life, you hit them with this and make their Zoro down to a normal 5 cost, and you can counter out easier, so you never know. Anyway, we've got one of each of the little event searchers from EBO2. These both look at the top 4 and take something with cost 4 or more and put it back in the hand there. One's red, one is purple. Pretty simple stuff there. We've got a full rack of Thunder Bagua, 2-cost counter that says your leader up to one of your characters gains +4k for the battle. Then if you've got 2 or less live cards, you can add a Don from your Don deck and rest it, so just an extra little bit of ramp. On trigger, it adds a Don active, which is pretty nice too, though. Then we've got 4 copies of It's to Die For, which is super solid. This is just a pure ramp card. You pay 3, add a Don, and then if your opponent has a character with 6k power or more, you get to add another one, so you can potentially go +2 off of this one, which is really nice. Then you've got a full rack of Little Black Bears. This is my favorite event in the deck that says for 3 Don there, it says up to one of your characters or leaders gains +4. Then if you've got 7 or more Don on your field and have 5 or less in hand, you get to draw a card. So it replaces itself, it ramps a Don theoretically, and it's a good +4k counter, which is nice. We have a lot of 3k counters, but having the 4k is pretty quirky. That extra little bit helps. Then we've got 4 copies of Punk Vice. I really like this card. I thought this was a weird include, but the more I played with it, the more I thought, I found it to be really quirky. For 3 Dawn, it says rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less, and then add a Dawn from your Dawn deck instead of this rested. So it's another just generic ramp card, but that rest something that's 2 cost or lower does come up like super often because it can rest those little blockers and stuff like that to help you be able to push for game, or you can like rest their smaller searchers, especially against like Rayleigh and stuff like that, to kind of keep the aggression off of you, if that makes sense. Super good card there. Anyway, then we've got 4 copies of Lead Performer Disaster. This costs 4. It says draw a card, then add a card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So it ramps and it replaces itself. Gotta love it. And then my favorite event in the deck, probably next to Little Black Bears, is going to be God Thread. This one costs 5. It says KO up to one of your opponent's 5 cost or below characters, then add a Dawn from your Dawn deck, right? Instead of this active. So more ramp, what we need. Especially cards that we play activate main. It's nice the ones that give us, Dawn back then too, because we want to be able to ramp Dawn from our events on our turn and ramp Dawn from our events on our opponent's turn. So either way, we're going to be getting to 10 very quickly. And then the extra removal on this guy just makes it super easy to push for game. You get rid of a lot of blockers. You get rid of a lot of problem attackers and things like that. So that's why we really like God Thread. So we've got the events. We've got hella events. In fact, let's count them. We've got 4, 8, 10, 14, 18, 22, 26, 30. We've got 34 events in our deck. But what do we got to do with all that, Dawn? Well, we've got 3 copies of Charlotte Katakuri. This guy's 8 cost, AK power blocker. At the end of your turn, you can set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active. Then add a Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. The only ones that we have in the deck are Katakuri, so he's just a blocker that gets to swing for 8 and stand himself back up to block on your opponent's turn. This card's crazy good. I think it's a super stellar, just like purple include for most decks, even if you're not in the Big Mom Pirates archetype, because he just restands himself. Then we've got 3 copies of Goldie Roger. This is a 10 cost, 13k big boy, big booty gal, Captain Swinga of sorts here. He's got Rush. And if your opponent activates blocker when you're at 0 or they're at 0, you win the game. So what's not to love there? Super big swing, very threatening. And then to round out our big bodies, we have 4 copies of Kaido and Linlim. This bad boy costs 10, swings for 12. It says when attacking, you minus all of your Dawn minus 10, KO all other characters besides Kaido and Linlim, and then put up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck on your life pile. Wait, what the fuck? Then put up to 1 card from the top of your deck on your life pile and trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. So you're going to gain a life off of this guy. You're going to trash their life. You're swinging for 12 and you're clearing the board, which is a lot. And you're thinking like, oh, you got to get to 10. That's crazy. But when you get to 10 by like turn 3, this motherfucker just gets active, right? And you're going to see that in some of our games. And then rounding out the list, of course, we've just got some 2Ks. We've got 2 Black Marias. These are mostly here just to get your Dawn back whenever you pop the big Kaido Linlin play. And then you've got Baby 5s here, which are 2Ks that can stave off, damage. And then you can also play them to pitch some shit and get some Dawn active. So what's not to love there? That's the list. Let's get to the games and see how many people we can monster mash on. Okay, we're getting into our game against Blue Yellow Ace. This is our first game of Sugary Sweetness here. We're going first. Passing the turn. We've got nothing to do on turn 1. His turn 1 looks like he's going to drop an Ezo to grab a Ace. I'm not sure which Ace is that. It's Opio 7 Ace. On our turn, we're going to play that Punk Vice that I mentioned earlier. Super good card. Rest the Ezo, swing on it. He's going to send a card to the bottom of his deck with that Ezo ability. On his turn, he's going to throw 2 Dawn on and activate Leader ability to throw an Ace on top. And he's going to swing at us for 7, I believe, or more. He's got 2 Dawn up. Let's see what he does. He could be leaving those Dawn up for... Oh, nope, he's going to play the Viola. Flip that life down. We're going to take the hit. We're going to get a It's to Die For off the top, which is going to ramp us a Dawn off trigger, which is pretty good. We drew a Punk Vice, so we're going to be able to double whammy him. Double dip in here on the Punk Vice. Rest that, gain a Dawn. Don't know what I'm highlighting my Dawn for. I guess I was thinking about swinging with some Dawn up, but it is a 0 power thing, so we're just going to swing over it. No big deal and pass the turn. What does he have in store for us on the clapback? Again, throwing those Dawn on. He's throwing the EBO2 ace on. Got the kid to play it. Gonna make himself big going into our next turn, which is rough. And he's gonna grab an ace off of the search. He didn't have anything to play off of that, which is interesting. He's getting in for a buttload of damage. We're just gonna take it. Drawing a lead performer disaster. We're at 10 Dawn, so we're just gonna jam that Roger. We can't swing with leader abilities, so we're not leader. We can't swing with sugar, so we're just gonna swing with Roger. Back on his turn, he did take the damage, so whatever. He throws the Dawn on, grabs that vanilla ace, swinging wide as fuck with the 9. We're gonna counter out with the 0 cost there and some maybe 5s, and he's gonna swing 9 again. This one I think we just take. Activate the trigger there is gonna draw us a card. Okay, 2 Katakuris is pretty sick. Retrospectively, I probably should have popped this God Thread, but you know, hindsight's 2020. So instead, we played the Katakuri. And if I'm not mistaken, I swung just like regular vanilla body here. No, or did I throw the 2 Dawn on swing 7? I don't remember. I swung 7. Let's see if he lets us have it. He does! Sick! Alright, so we're going to swing 13, get another one in. That's one thing that's nice about Roger, is that, like, he's making himself a 7K on his turn. And so it's, like, super hard for us to, like, swing into him on our turn because he's fucking huge as fuck. But Roger just kind of says, okay, you're a 7, here's 13, loser. He's swinging 6. We countered out with the baby 5 there. Staving off a little bit of damage. He's playing the ace, hard casting this one, and cheating in a Viola off of the effect. He doesn't opt to flip his life, which is weird. Getting in for 10. We can just block and, yeah, pitch the God Thread that we should have played earlier. Yeah, and he let the life go away. Interesting. I feel like he totally could have flipped it with the Viola and kept the life up there, but he didn't. So I don't know why he did that. Swinging on the Viola to KO it, swinging on the ace, swinging on face, passing up with 2 Dawn open. Maybe shouldn't have played the second Katakuri, so that way I could have kept up Dawn for little black bears, but we will see what happens. I mean, we have 2 blockers, so theoretically we can make a way out of this. But these rush aces spell trouble, I think. He plays that on top. He's swinging in for 5. We ain't got no choice but to just block it, because I just don't feel comfortable going to 0 yet. Dropping the ace like we expected, getting in for 7. We block that one. Okay, hard casting it. Ugh, that's rough. When do we get off the life? Oh, and you know what sucks is that he's got 10 and we can only make 4. Son of a bitch. We're dead. No. Okay. All right. Well, that was game 1. We lost. Let's get to game 2 and see if we can make it any better, I guess. All right, so game 2, we're getting into it. Looks like I'm choosing to go first this time. Our hand is okay, so we're gonna keep it. We're playing against blue-yellow queen, so sticking with blue-yellow decks today. Let's see if that comes back to bite me. Again, we've got nothing to do turn 1, so we're gonna pass. Blue-yellow decks are interesting. Blue-yellow is one of my favorite color combinations in the game because, like, it just plays such a quirky little shitter gameplay. Like, just the game plan of, oh, I'm going to control the board and gain a bunch of life and play with stupid triggers and be able to pop stuff and be able to bottom stuff that can't be popped. Like, it just... Blue-yellow's got an insane package. People talk about blue-black being, like, the best color combination in the game, but, like, nah, I digress. Like, not to toot Sugar's horn or anything, but, like, I legit think red-purple and blue-yellow are, like, some of the best. Some of the best in the game. Back to this game. He's played the Carrot. He's played the Pedro there, blocker. He blocked my swing. Actually, no, he didn't block my swing. What am I? I'm so distracted. I punk viced him to gain the Dawn, swung on his guy, KO'd it. Back on his turn, he's going to try and get in for 9. I'm going to pop the Bad Manners, gain a Dawn, and then do it again like a stupid head. There was no reason for me to do that. I probably should have just took the hit. But whatever, we're pushing as fast as we can to try and just get to 10 here. We're going to definitely take this Kaido Lin off of the Event Searcher from EBO2. Yeah, man, Punk Vice, again, just coming in crazy good. I'm telling you, dude, I was sleeping on that card. We are God-threading with authority this game. We're not scared anymore. We're not holding it up thinking, oh, we're going to use this later. No, we're God-threading the fuck out of anything. 1 cost Carrot, get it the fuck out of here. We're getting Dawn in this bad boy because we have got one plan and one plan only in this deck, and it's play big bodies. My light just went out. We have lost light in this motherfucker. That's tragic. Looks like we drew another Punk Vice. We're just gonna play it to gain a Dawn and move on about our business. He's playing Veggie and a Pedro. We don't really care about that. We're gonna get in for 5. Let's see if he uses the Pedro smart. I'm not even sure if the Pedro has blocker here, but it doesn't matter. He took the hit. Play the Kaido Lin. Now, he could just totally Red Rock us here. He could Red Rock the fuck out of us, and it would be really bad. But he swings in for 5. We take it. It's a Thunder Bagel off the top. I'm not going to play it for this trigger because we're already at 10 Dawn. Plays a Katakuri to put the Veggie at the bottom of his life like a little stinker. I should fix my light. Okay, so I fixed the lighting and getting back into the game. Last thing I remember, he played the Katakuri to tuck his Veggie to the bottom there. And now it's our turn, so we're going to draw up. I've got the little black bears here. That's pretty quirky. I don't think that's really going to come in handy because we're pretty much just on the Kaido Lin train now. Like, I'm just going to throw all my Dawn here. I'm not even going to worry about holding up any Dawn. Throw all my Dawn on my leader. Swing 15 with the sugar. There's no way he counters out of this. Come on. Take the damage. Taking it. Okay, cool. See, and then we're just gonna blow it out the whole board with the Kaido Lin. So swinging 12, we're gonna tuck all our Dawn. We're gonna gain a life. We're gonna trash a life off of him, and then we're going to blow his whole board up. He takes the damage, which is the Veggie. The Veggie doesn't proc because there's nothing for him to proc, and that's how we play around that little fucker. Look at the Kaido Lin there just looking powersome. I got an AA of these, and I think the AA looks worse than the normal art. All right, so he's swinging in on us. We'll take it, whatever. It's a God Thread. That's gonna, yeah, just pop the trigger. Again, another Dawn. Try to help us get back on our train, because we didn't draw Black Maria, so... And he's gonna stabilize with the Yamato. So that kind of puts us in a rough spot, because next turn... oh, never mind. We're good. I was gonna say... If we didn't draw this Black Maria, he theoretically could have just, like, we get him for 12, he takes it, whatever, and then he just dawns up and swings onto our Kaido and Lin. But we can play kind of conservatively here. We'll gain all of our Dawn back, swing here, swing leader, and if he doesn't Dawn up and swing at us, then we can just reset with Black Maria next turn. So let's see how he plays this turn out. We do have 2k worth of counter. So let's see. He has to throw 3 on it to swing at least with the Yamato. That brings him down to 9 Don, so he can still swing. He can swing 13 on us, so we do have a 2K. I think we'll be okay. No, he would be swinging 14 on us. That would be rough. So yeah, so if he... Okay. He opts to play the Namule just to try and filter cards, I guess, and try to throw blockers, which is going to be kind of irrelevant because if we let this Kaido Linlin untap, we kind of just win the game. And I don't think he sees that, which I think is going to just let us run away with it here. He's playing the Carrot to filter some more cards. I'm thinking maybe he's going to try and gain a life this turn. He's going to play the Duval. Yeah, he really had to remove the Kaido Linlin this turn. I think he assumed that maybe I had enough counter to save it, which is a fair assumption with the amount of events that I've played on him so far. But I think when you're facing lethal, you can't make that assumption. You kind of just have to push it and do whatever you can to like not put yourself in a checkmate situation. So he swings at me, I take it, not gonna trigger that one. That's just gonna give us that much more counter to work with because it's 0 cost. Gonna swing in for 6. We will counter out of that. Whatever. That's gonna gain him a life like we thought, but once we're back up to 10, doesn't matter. We'll just swing Kaido Linlin, trash his life, and then there's no way you can counter out of it. So this is going to be game. And bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully, we're going to get our life, do our thing, trash his life, blow him out. What do you got? Give it to me. Give it to me. That's the handshake. So those were the games. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you for watching. I had a lot of fun with the Monster Mash deck list, as it were. I did end up doing some more digging. It turns out this is Joshua's list, so shout out real_Joshua. We shout out him a lot on the channel because, you know, good reason. He's a good content creator, so go show him some love. Yeah, if you try the list for yourself, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you try the vanilla version of it, like the normal one that we didn't play today, because I think that one also has some, you know, something to be said for it. But I just think if you have the option to play the Monster Mash list, why wouldn't you play the Monster Mash list, you know? As always, this has been Off Meta Monday. I'm your host, Flaffic, and I thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and we will catch you next week. Wallabam!